Hi guys, welcome to another episode in my Makeup Diaries series. I want to say this is like, why am I even trying to guess, number 16 maybe? I've been doing these for quite some time now and I've been really enjoying them. So if you're new to this, basically what I do is I tell you everything that is on my face in the last like 7 or 8 looks that I've done. Sometimes they're a bit sporadic and all over the place and not in the order that I actually film them, which is probably going to be the case with this one too, but you still get to see like 7 or 8 looks and just get some inspiration for looks that you can do. That doesn't require you to sit through a whole tutorial, because I know for myself, I just find more inspiration in seeing looks rather than seeing how they're done, because I can usually recreate things on my own just by seeing them. So if you just want like quick reviews on products that I'm using, just know what I've been liking lately and what I've been playing with, then this is a good video for you to watch. So we're just going to jump straight in. I'm going to start with my base products like I always do in these videos. So I'm actually using like a different combo than I usually do, because I went to Sephora for the sale and I was going to pick up another one of the Urban Decay foundations because I had a shade that was too light. This is like a whole thing. I had a shade that was too light. I was gonna get a shade that was too dark because I wanted to mix them and also just have a summer shade, and they didn't have this in stock. Then I went to Ulta and I saw that they had the Lancome Tinted Ultra Wear foundation, which is their new one, and I love the Tinted concealer, which is the one that I'm wearing today. It's been my holy grail for a while now, so I was like, you know what, since I like the concealer so much, I'm gonna pick up the foundation. So I did get this at Ulta, like I said, not on sale, because Sephora did not have the shade that I want in stock. So I was a sucker and I just paid full price because, yeah, I couldn't help myself. So I ended up buying this one. This one is too dark because I also bought this one in like a darker kind of summer shade. So I'm mixing it with the Urban Decay foundation that I have. This is the Stay Naked. So this is my combo today, and I really like this combo. I've been using it for a couple of days now, which I have not talked about because, as you will see later, I'm still using the same palette that I've used the past couple of days, which I also have not talked about. So I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. Let's see, for my powder, I'm still using the Wet n Wild loose setting powder, which I did buy a new one actually. That's why I wanted to go to Ulta in the first place, because I was out of the one that I was using. So I repurchased that one, which I love that one. You guys know that. My brows today is the CoverGirl Ultrafine Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown, which is one of my favorites. I do prefer the West Barnes & Co. one a little bit more, but I ran out of that one and I don't really want to make an order on their website until I'm like out of the actual brow pen that I'm using as well, because this one I feel like I need. The other brow pen I can kind of like use from different brands and it doesn't really matter, even though I like this one more. So I have the shade Roots here. This is just a pen to like draw in hair like strokes in your brows. Best brand ever for that. If you were on the lookout for a brow pen with like a brush tip applicator, this is the one. Never dries out. It doesn't have the best shade range, but it works like a charm. It's just amazing. So let's go into like some of the more fun stuff. I'm using the Kaleidos Bronzing Trio today, which I think I used in the next 2 looks. I could be wrong, or the looks that I'm going to show you in a little bit. My blush today is the Sunset Kiss blush from Sigma. I love this blush. I don't use it nearly enough. I think it's a beautiful color and it just goes with so many different looks. My highlighter today is the Noctilucent palette from Blend Money, and I'm using this shade on my face and then the blue one in my inner corner as well as on my brow bone. Now let's talk about what is on my eyes today, because I'm using the Into the Night palette from Glaminatrix. This is their newest palette. I should have a 4-look video up with this, I think, already. And this is my 3rd look. So when I did my first look with this palette, I was in a hurry. I did not have time to like film a clip for this. So I'm gonna show you the first look that I did with this palette just so you can kind of see what I ended up playing with. But I've had a really good time with this palette so far. And then for the second look that I did, I filmed a clip and I realized that I forgot to turn on my microphone. So I will show you a clip of that look as well. And I really like the looks I've done with this palette so far. I will say, however, that I feel like the mattes in this palette is a little bit different than what I'm used to from Glaminatrix. It could just be in my head, but I feel like these are a little bit sheerer, a little bit thinner in formula, and they don't have as much richness to them that I'm used to. I don't really know, like it could just be the colors as well, but I feel like they're not as punchy as I kind of would have liked. I also haven't like been absolutely packing them on like crazy. This shade was beautiful in the inner corner, layered over a white base, which is how I used it. The shimmers are stunning. The silver creased a little bit on me. The other ones have been really nice so far. I'm really liking this color story. It's very interesting. I don't feel like it's something that I have in my collection. I mean, obviously I could probably find all of these colors in other palettes, but put together I think is an interesting color combination, and I'm really enjoying it. So for today's look, I used the dark kind of bluish purpley shade as my wing. I used this one just sort of as a base on my lid and blended it into my crease a little bit, and then I have the blue shimmer and the pink shimmer on my lid, and like I said, the Noctilucent palette in my inner corner, and I really like this look. Now my lashes today are a mystery. I don't know which ones they are. They were just like randomly laying around, and usually I put them back in where they belong so I know what they are, but I think these are from Unicorn Cosmetics. I really don't know. I'm gonna try to look at them again. I really don't know which lashes these are, but I really like them. So that's pretty much all I got to say for that. My lip combo today is the Natasha Denona My Perfect Lip Liner, and then I just have a gloss over the top from Ace Beauté, and this is their Palatopoly gloss. I don't know if they sell these individually, but I just wanted a gloss today and something like kind of nude, so that is what I went with. I think that's basically it for today's look, and for like the two other looks that you just saw as well. So I'm not going to count those as like individual looks. This is just going to be like one look, one clip kind of thing, and then I'll show you another like 6 looks or 7 looks. I don't know where we're going to end up because I'm filming the intro to this after I filmed all of the other clips, because I keep forgetting to film an intro and keep forgetting that I haven't filmed an intro, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I should probably mention my little bun today too. I've been really enjoying this. I think it's the Sammy bun from I&H. Like, it's so fun. Like, my hair could never do this on its own, so it's been fun to be able to like put my hair up into a bun and have it look like an actual bun and not just like a little stub. So it's nice on days where, you know, I'm close to having to wash my hair but just not quite there. So yeah, really liking this look. I think it is really pretty. It's very much me. It's very much like graphic and simple, but still out there and fun and colorful. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the opening look of this video. All right, so this is today's look, and we have a lot to talk about today because I have tried quite a few new products and I definitely have thoughts. So we're gonna start with actually foundation. So I went to Sephora yesterday. I was gonna buy another one of my Valentina ones. The sale has started. I was like, let me get another foundation because I'm basically out. I went to Sephora, they were out of my shade, so I had to order it online. But then I went to Ulta and I saw this one, and this is the Lancome Tainted Eau Ultra Wear Foundation. And you guys know, I love the concealer so much. I knew this was being released. I didn't know they were gonna have it in the store already. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. But I did pick it up in a shade that's more like my summer shade because I do tan pretty easily and it's starting to get nice here. And so, you know, I like going for walks and I get a tan in the summer usually. So I ended up picking up a darker shade, and so I haven't been able to use it on its own yet, but I did mix it with the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. Also, side note, is this getting discontinued? Because I tried to buy another one of these. They didn't have my shade in store, they didn't have my shade online, and they barely had any shades online at all. So I'm a little bit confused, but I did 2 pumps of the Stay Naked and 1 pump of this, and it was a beautiful combination. It went on so nicely. I'm really, really curious to try this on its own once it becomes like my shade, because I think I'm going to really like the formula. It seemed really nice and thin and kind of liquidy, but also very full coverage. So I have high expectations that I'm going to like this foundation on its own. Right now I can't like tell you because I had to mix it because it simply wasn't my shade, but very, very intrigued. Let's see. I'm also using a new bronzer today. I did end up picking up one of the Pat McGrath bronzers because I really wanted to get one of these because I love her powder products so much, and I knew that this was going to be something that I would enjoy given that the colors were good for me. So I actually got the 3rd color up from the lightest one. This is the shade called Bronze Nirvana. When I looked at them on the website, this one definitely looked too dark for me, but in the store I was like, this is definitely my color. So this is the one that I picked up, and I went pretty lightly on it. It's definitely warm tone, but I don't feel like it's too warm tone, and I kind of like that in the summer as well. I like a more warm tone bronzer over, you know, something that's more of a contour or just like neutral. So I think I'm going to really get along with this. It might not be the best color for me like in the winter when I don't have a tan at all, which I don't really have a tan right now, but I think this is going to be like perfect when I do have a little bit of a tan, and I'm really excited about it because the formula is pretty much the same as her matte blushes. If you've tried those, you know how wonderful those are. So I think this is going to be living on my desk and something that I'm probably going to start using every day because so far very, very impressed, and I'm super happy that I picked it up. My blush and highlighter are both from Blem Bunny. I'm using the Bare Cheeks palette, and I'm using this shade. I feel like this is going to be the shade that I reach for this palette for because it's such a beautiful kind of wearable orange shade that doesn't look just orange, but it's just really, really pretty. And I'm also using the Noctilucent palette. I have these two shades on, this as my highlighter and this as my brow bone shade. And my eyeshadows today are actually a release that hasn't, as of this moment when I'm filming this, it has not been revealed yet, but this is the new collection from Ace Beauté, and I'm using the Fleur palette. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but these are so beautiful. I should have a video up with these already. Super interesting format. Like, I opened these when I got the package and I was like, it's not what I was expecting. I didn't know what I was expecting because of the packaging, but this is not it. I was like, this is what the Smiley palettes from Urban Decay should have been like. Because this is so beautiful. Like, this is what the purple one from them should have been like. And I think it would have been such a hit. So I'm really excited that Ace Beauté came out with something that like actually is a good, nice color story in a format like this. I don't know. I need to keep playing with these. I think the quality is really, really nice. I think the pans are throwing me off a little bit because I find it a little bit harder to like wiggle my brush in to pick up the shimmers when it's just so tiny. So maybe I need to like flip it over and use it like this when I do my brush in there. I don't know. I do find the pans to be just a little bit on the thin side, but the formula seems like the good Ace Beauté formula. The shimmers are, I feel like, a little bit different from some of the shimmers I've had in the past. These seem more like a sheer toppery kind of formula. I need to play with them a little bit more. They look beautiful on the eyes though. Like, they're really pretty. They're not that very emollient creamy formula that almost looks like glass-like on the lids. These are more sparkly metallics, but on a little bit of a sheer side, but really pretty. Like, beautiful. I love this look so much. I'm really happy about this. I also tried a new mascara. I wanted to buy, because you guys know, I bought the one from Revlon. I bought this one because I was like, I need a mascara that sucks that I can use before I put on my fake lashes, because I don't want a lot of like clump on my lashes before I put my lashes on. I just need something to make my lashes black, and honestly, this didn't do anything. Like, literally nothing. I'm gonna put it in the trash right now because I don't need that anymore. It literally does nothing. And then I was like, all right, let me see if I can find another drugstore mascara that does a little bit more than nothing. I just want black lashes, okay? Is that too much to ask for? So I picked up this one. Randomly saw this. It was cheap. It's from e.l.f. It's the Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. So I bought this because I saw the wand was very similar to my Bad Gal Bang, which I love. This one is a little bit thicker. It does have those spikies on it. So when I went to put this on, I was like, wait, this is like actually kind of a good mascara. Like, I don't think that this would do everything that I would want it to if I just wore it as a mascara, but my lashes got really black really fast, and I also felt like it was lengthening. I don't feel like this is a volumizing mascara, especially with this wand too. I find that these kind of wands really lengthens your lashes and doesn't put like too much volume or clump on them. So I'm really happy I picked this up. Like, this is going to be the perfect before lashes mascara for me. So if you've been looking for something similar, try this one. I mean, I don't know if it's going to like smear or like, I don't really have any problems with my mascara crumbling and stuff like that. And I didn't use it on my lower lash line because the wand is a little bit too big for that for me personally. I did use my Bad Gal Bang because I just find that one to be like perfect underneath my eyes, but so far really happy I picked it up. My lashes today are from Brights. These are the Flutter lashes. These are one of the, are these half lashes? I think they're half lashes. I don't think these are the ones that I cut, like, because I have two styles here. These are the Daydream. I think these are the ones that I cut. I'm really not sure. Like, they're so similar style-wise, except that one is like a half lash, so you don't need to cut, and the other one is a full lash. So I want to say that these are like the same lash, just one is longer than the other, but they're both beautiful, beautiful lashes, and I've just had such a good time with these. I think these are like the perfect lash, but like not too much lash, you know? Like, I think they look really, really pretty. The last thing that I should mention is another thing that I picked up at the Sephora haul. This is just one of those products that just, I was in this checkout line and I saw this and I was like, I'm a sucker, so I'm going to buy this. This is from Fenty. This is one of their lip stains. And I'm like, lip stains intrigue me. I like the idea of like putting on a stain while doing my makeup and then wiping it off and putting a gloss over the top and then having it be like stained with just a clear gloss. Like that is very interesting to me. But the thing about this product is that I feel like it's pretty much a gloss. Like it's very strange. I haven't actually like tried to take it off to see how the stain is, but putting it on, it goes on very kind of liquidy and not patchy, but it almost has like a sticky consistency to it as if like it's a gloss, but then it dries down a little bit to just be this super comfortable, almost feels like a little balmy, glossy finish. Like it's super, I can't really explain it. Like this is what it looks like after having it on for like 30 minutes probably. I did my eye makeup and that's pretty much it, and then I started filming this, but it's really comfortable, and the longer I leave it on, the more it dries down. So I don't feel like I need to wipe this off and then put something else over the top, because this is super comfortable the way it is. Like I said, I don't know how the stain is going to be, but I did put it on my hand yesterday, and when I put it on my hand, it just went on as a gloss, and I didn't feel like it dried down at all. And then I wiped it off after like a minute because I was like, whatever, I just want to see. And there was a very clear stain on my hand. And yeah, so I have high hopes for this. Like I feel like this might have been one of those like impulse purchases that actually end up being good. But we'll see. So far I really like it. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for this look. I also ended up buying this shirt at Express yesterday because I was like, that is so cute and so colorful and I need that. So yeah, I had a good little mall day yesterday. Super fun. I haven't been to the mall in what feels like forever, so I feel like I kind of needed that. So I think that's gonna be it for today's look. I really like this. Like I really like this Ace Beauté palette. I think it is really pretty. Alright, so this is today's look, and today I used another one of the new palettes from Ace Beauté, and this is called the Kala palette or Kala palette. I don't know if this is the name of a plant or a flower. I don't know anything about this stuff, but this is what the palette looks like, and that is what I care about. It is a really pretty neutral palette. I will say it's definitely very neutral. If you're not into neutrals, it's not going to be for you, but I think it's beautiful. Like this is a really well-balanced neutral palette. It has like some cool tones, some warm tones. I really like the selection of the mattes in here. I think they're beautiful. I used this shade, and this shade in my crease, and then I used these two on my lid. And I did pull in something else because I wanted like a pop of neon in the inner corner because I'm wearing like neon scrunchies, and I was like, kind of want to match them, so I used the Sea Talk palette from Odens Eye, the collaboration they did with Lauren, and I took this shade, which is just like the perfect inner corner shade. Like I wish that I had this formula in like every kind of neon and pastel possible. Like that would be a dream like inner corner palette. Like that would just be so amazing. So I really like how this look turned out. I did put some yellow in my waterline because I was like, I don't think I have a like neon sort of lime green, and then I realized that I just went to Sephora the other day and I bought the one from the Sephora collection, and I forgot that I bought that. So I wish I had put that in instead because it would have been a little bit better, but here we are. I still think it worked. I also did a little bit of like green liner. I didn't do a lot, but I used the Suva palette again. I have done a video with this. They sent this to me. It's called the UV Festival palette. It's one of those water activated liners. I used the green one here, and I feel like I still have the same thoughts about this formula. I don't think this formula is as good as the Glisten ones. I feel like these are just a little bit thicker and gunkier and a little bit sheerer to work with. Like they're just not as like effortless. So I think I'm gonna go back to my Suva liner after this. I feel like I've sort of made up my mind on these. It seems like they're all the same formula. Like I can kind of just tell, even just mixing them together, that it's a little just too thick. And you can't like put more water in there because then it just gets really sheer. And so I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan, but I still think the look turned out good, and I really like the little addition of the green. I feel like that really kind of, I don't know, just made it a little bit more interesting. I'm also using the bronzer again from Pat McGrath, and I used it more as like a blush bronzer hybrid today. I'm not using any blush. This is all I have on my cheeks. It's just a bronzer. And I think it works really well for this purpose. I'm honestly like impressed that I'm able to use this as sort of a blush color as well. I'm trying to find a brush that I use with it, but I feel like it's warm toned enough that I can multi-use it, and I like that. Like, I think this is a nice color for a look like this, where I didn't really want to pull in like any pink. Like, I felt like pink wouldn't really go, orange wouldn't really go. Like, I just didn't want like a color really on my cheeks. I just wanted it to be sort of warm tone, and I think it works really nicely. I'm loving my lashes today as well. I know I keep saying this, but I made another order from Unicorn Cosmetics because I just love their lashes, and I picked up another pair of the style Baby. I've had these before, but I feel like I wasn't as good with my lash application back then as I am now, because I feel like I got these on perfectly and I love the way they look. I did have to cut off a lot though. Like, I cut off like 5 little clusters because they were so long. Like, now they look like full lashes on me, but I can't imagine anybody being able to use these without cutting them. They're supposed to be just like round with like the middle being the longest part, but then when I cut them, obviously they ended up being more flare because I cut off like so much of the ends on them. But I think they're such beautiful lashes. I'm really enjoying this look. My foundation is probably the same as the last look. I'm mixing the Urban Decay Stay Naked and my Lancome foundation. So far this, I mean, I can't really speak of wear time, but they wore well together last time I wore them, so I can't really tell you anything else because, I mean, they're 2 different formulas that probably aren't supposed to be mixed together. So I'm gonna keep you posted when I can actually like use the Lancome foundation on its own and it's not too dark for me. But as of right now, really like the way my skin looks. My lip combo today is the lip liner from Colourpop that I've just been using all the time as a shade BFF, and on top I have the Unearthly gloss in the shade Drizzle. I just wanted like a nude gloss to go with this look, and I think it looks really nice. My earrings are Ana Luisa. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. I really like this look. Like, yeah, it's neutral, but I like spicing up neutral looks because I feel like it's kind of different and fun. Like, you never see people who are into neutrals really doing neutrals like this. So I think that's why I can sort of get on board with it and not feel like it's boring, because it's not boring. Like, it's really fun. So that's gonna be it for today's look. This is my look for today, and can I just say I absolutely love this. I think this turned out so lovely. This is so pretty. Like, I really love this color combo. I think it is so stunning. I'm using one of the new Ace Beauté palettes again, and this is the Flora palette. I just cannot get enough of these. Like, they did such a good job, not only with the formulas in these, but the color stories are so easy to work with. Just so effortless, I feel like. Like, yeah, it's a monochromatic palette. It's like kind of boring, but at the same time, it's punchy enough that I feel like you can get a lot of different looks out of this, and they go like light to dark in the shimmers and the mattes, and I just think that this is a perfect little travel palette. Like, I'm probably going to bring this palette next time I travel because I'm loving this look. I'm loving everything about this palette, and I think it is just so pretty. Like, I love this look. Like, that shimmer on the lid is so beautiful. I feel like the shimmer formula in these palettes, it could also be because the pans are smaller, but I feel like they're a little bit on the drier side. So if you don't like that very creamy putty-like formula, these are a little bit drier. They've been wearing so well on me every single time I wore these palettes. They're just stunning, but they still look so shiny and beautiful on the lids. I don't know how they did it, but I'm not going to question it because I think they are beautiful. Let's see. My foundation combination today, same as it has been for a little while now. Same concealer, still using the Pat McGrath bronzer. Been really enjoying this. I'm having a great time with it. I'm just going to keep using it. I'm using the Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks palette for my blush today, and I'm using a combination of this shade and this shade. So I kind of like mixed these two together because I wanted to just try them both out. I think it's really pretty. It did take a little while to like get the blend right, so I do feel like these are a little bit too pigmented for my liking, which is crazy for me to say, but just given that they're so saturated and the colors are kind of on the darker side and they're also just kind of bright, you know, it's a little bit harder to work with a pigmented matte blush that is that kind of formula. So yeah, I'm not like the biggest fan. I always love the result I get out of it, but I feel like I have to take a little bit of extra time to like just make sure that the blush is looking good. So yeah, those are kind of like my thoughts so far on those. I feel like I've said that already, but I'm using the Diamond Dasher highlighter from Kaleidos. I feel like I have not used this in forever. I was just looking in my highlighter drawer and I was like, what haven't I used? So I put this on. It's more of like a pinky tone than I was expecting and that I remembered. I thought it was going to be more of like a champagne-y color, but it's not. But I still think it looks really nice and it's super, super pretty. My lashes today are the Flirt lashes from Brights Lashes. These are like the very, very tiny corner lashes, and I don't know, I feel like every time I wear like a corner lash, not a half lash, I just feel like I have a hard time like blending them into my real lashes, and I just feel like I never get them perfect. So I think I just prefer more of like a, maybe not like a full strip, but like a 2/3 kind of lash. Like that is sort of what I prefer. I just feel like right here, it's not like this eye is looking perfect, but this eye, like just right here, like I know I'm just nitpicking, but I feel like these should be easier to put on and get perfect than like a full lash, but I don't feel like that is always the case. I do think they're pretty though, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy wearing them the rest of the day, but I never feel like as confident putting these on as I do like the longer ones. I don't know why. Let's see, what else? I'm using the yellow from Colourpop in my waterline. Really love this. This is, no, wait, this is the About Face one. I thought I was using the Colourpop one. That's really funny. I actually like both of these. They're so similar. Like pretty much almost the same color. This one is a little bit more, this is the About Face one. This one is a little bit more, I feel like, lighter, and this one is a little bit more of like a tangerine color over than a yellow, but they're both really beautiful eyeliners, and I think I do think I like the formula on the Colourpop one just a tiny bit more, but I think they're both really nice. So let's see, is there anything else? I always get questions on these earrings. I have no idea where they're from. I think I got them at Forever 21 like years ago. Yeah, I really don't know. You probably can't get them anymore, but I think they're really pretty. I like the kind of jewel tones they have, and I felt like it would go nicely with this look today. So I think that's pretty much gonna be it. Like, I love this look. I cannot stop looking at that shimmer. I am using 2 on my lid today. Maybe I'll show you the ones that I use, because I don't think I've done that. I've used pretty much every single color except for this one. So those are the colors that are on my eyes today. But the one that I have on my lid are these 2. And then I have a little bit of this one right here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna sum up this look. I really enjoy this, and I'm excited to play with the last palette that I haven't used as well. All right, so here is my next look, and I did another one with the Glaminatrix Into the Night palette. I love this look. I think it is so pretty. I don't think I've done a color combination like this in probably a very long time, if I ever have. I'm using the green shade, this shade, which is like the maroon, I don't know how to explain. I'm using this shade on my lid, which is such a pretty like green to pink duochrome. It is so beautiful. And then I have a little bit of this shade in the inner corner of my eye, as well as my brow bone and the face highlighter, and I think it worked really nicely for that. So really enjoying this look so far. I'm still using the same foundation combination. I am using the Pat McGrath bronzer today though, because I wanted to use it, and I feel like I like it. I've gotten a little bit of a tan lately because I've been outside, and I feel like I like it more now than I did when I first got it. I feel like it looks a little bit better on my skin tone when I do have, I feel like, a little bit more warmth to it, but I think it is a beautiful formula, a beautiful color. I'm also using one of the Pat McGrath blushes. This is my favorite. It's in the shade Cherish, and I just got an email earlier from them that I guess apparently now they're coming out with minis, which ripped my wallet, because I'm probably gonna have to buy some because there are still a couple of colors that I want, and if they're coming out in minis and they're like half the price, yeah, probably gonna have to pick some up, because I love the Pat McGrath blush formula. I think it is my favorite. No, I know it's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite blush formula. I think they're amazing. So let's see, what else is on my face today? Very basic lip combo. I'm using the Natasha Denona My Perfect Nude, and then on top I have a gloss from Ofra, which came in a set, so I don't think this is sold individually, but it is in the shade Glam. It's just a nude. I just wanted a nude gloss and a nude lip, and I really like it. Let's see, what else? I don't think I'm really wearing that many other things today. I'm wearing the number 6 eyeliner from Odens Eye in my waterline, which I think I put back because I can't find it anymore. My lashes are the Daydream lashes from Brights Lashes, and I'm pretty sure that is probably it. My pony today is the Shayla pony from Iron. They come in these little pouches. I think they're just really, really cute, and it's quite long, but oh my god, it's so pretty. I love it. I'm kind of feeling like my mom. Like, she used to get extensions, and she would have like curly hair like this, and she used to wear her hair up sort of similarly to this, so I feel very much like my mom today. But I think this is a beautiful pony. Like so pretty. So I think that is going to be it for today's look. All right, so this is the look that I am wearing today, and I am playing with some new stuff today, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. I'll tell you what I'm wearing on my eyes in a little bit, but let's go through the other things that I should probably mention as well. So today I'm using the Pat McGrath bronzer. Did I use that in the first look? I think I did, but I thought I would mention it again just in case I didn't. I think it is really pretty. My blush today is, where did I put that? It's one from Highlghters, and I don't know the names of these, but this is like the pinky corally blush. I think it is really pretty. I just haven't used it in a while, and I was like, let me pull out a blush that I haven't given enough love, and I think this is just beautiful. My highlighter, no one's surprised, Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. For my eyes, I'm using some new palettes from a brand that reached out to me on Instagram and asked if they could send me these in PR. I have tried a couple of things from the brand in the past, and this is from Wicked Widow Cosmetics, and they actually, it's Wicked Widow Beauty, sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. They've come out with two palettes. I think this is a reformulation of a palette that they had in the past. I don't actually know the name of this palette because it doesn't say on it anywhere, but it is a beautiful palette. I will have it linked down below, of course, if you want to go check it out, but I'll show you the outside of the palette. It looks like this, and then the inside of the palette. So pretty. Like, there are so many stunning shimmers in this palette that are exactly the kind of shimmers that I love. This is the one that I have on my lid today, as well as this one, and it's just so beautiful. Like, I knew that when I first got this palette that this was going to be my favorite shade, and I almost talked myself out of using it because I was like, I should probably try the other shades because I know I'm going to love this, but I was also like, I know I'm going to love that, and so I want to wear it. So I have that basically slapped all over my lid today, and I think it is just so stunning. I can't wait to do more looks with this. I'm using this one in the outer corner of my eye, and I have the other little palette that they also sent me. And I thought I would combine the two. I also don't know the name of this one because it doesn't say on it. Like I said, I'll have them linked down below if you want to go check them out. But here's what the little palette looks like. This is actually not the right direction of the palette. It's supposed to be like this. So like a little book that you open up, but super beautiful. I have this shade as my transition shade, and then I have this shade right here underneath my eye just a little bit. And I think it is beautiful as well. Like, this shimmer is so pretty. This shimmer is so pretty. I love the shimmers in this. The only question is, like, how are they going to wear? The mattes are definitely a little sheerer and less pigmented than I prefer, but I was able to get them to do what they wanted. They are buildable to an extent, but they're not the most, like, intense and opaque mattes that I've ever used. I still have to play around with more colors. Obviously, I only used two today, so I can't give you like a thorough review, but this is just going to be like one of the looks in my video where I'm going to be reviewing these two. So I feel like with these palettes, especially this one is definitely a companion palette. Like, I don't feel like for me, I can really get I mean, I guess I could get a complete look out of this, but I feel like the mattes are too light compared to the shimmers. The shimmers are quite dark compared to the mattes. And so I prefer having lighter mattes and darker shimmer. No, I prefer having darker mattes and lighter shimmers, and I feel like this is the opposite. So for me, I need to pull in some lighter shimmers to go with this or some darker mattes to go with this, and I feel like with the other palette, it kind of has what the small one is missing, and I feel like I could do with some lighter mattes in this palette as well. There are quite a lot of dark shimmers. I do wish that some of these shimmers were a little bit lighter, but that's just like personal preference thing, and I think you could do a lot of very simple monochromatic looks with this palette if you're into that, like 2 shadow looks with like shadow in the crease, shadow in the lid, and you're done, and it would be beautiful. So I really enjoy the color story. Like, I cannot wait to use these two colors together. I don't know what it is, but I feel like these two colors together with like the greens, that would look so pretty. And also like this blue together with this shade would be pretty. Just like doing a full blue look would be so beautiful. So I feel like there's a lot you can do with these palettes, and I'm really excited that I have them in my collection and I get to play with them. So thank you to the brand for sending them my way. I can't wait to do more looks. Let's see, my lip combo today is the My Perfect nude lip liner from, no, just My Perfect lip liner from Natasha Denona. My dream lip liner? I think I should call it my dream lip liner. I never know. My lipstick, I guess you could call it lip balm. I don't even know what the hell this is. This is the Lawless. I think this was called like a plumping balm. There is absolutely no plumping effect whatsoever in this, which I appreciate because I did not realize that it was a plumping thingy when I bought it, and I hate plumping products, but this is a shade called Georgie. It doesn't have a lot of pigment to it. It's balmy, but in a kind of slick way. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, it doesn't glide on the lips that you see. It has sort of a like a Vaseline-y texture to it. It's hard to explain, but I like how it looks on the lips, and I didn't want anything like too out there today, so I figured this would be a good one to pull out. My lashes today are the Dreamer lashes from Unicorn Lashes. I love these Unicorn Cosmetics, whatever you want to call them. My waterline is just Prance from Colourpop. It is one of the new ones. I don't know if I mentioned this in the video yet because I lost some footage that I was going to put in my last Makeup Diaries series, so I feel like I might be repeating myself, but maybe I'm not because you haven't seen those clips. But anyway, I was saying in one of those that I feel like with the new formula from Colourpop and the eyeliners, I notice a little bit of a difference, and the only thing that I would say is different for me is because these are waterproof. I do think they maybe contain a little bit of alcohol, which means that when I put them in my waterline, sometimes I can tend to like feel it a little bit, and it makes my eyes want to start watering, but they never get to the point where they do. So it's just like a little bit of a tingling sensation when I put it in my waterline. Nothing that really bothers me. I'm still just gonna keep using it, like it's totally fine. I think it's just because they are waterproof eyeliners, and for that reason the ingredients are a little bit different than they were in the old ones. I could be wrong, but that is just like something that I've noticed. It could just be me as well, but I really like this look, and I'm excited to play more with these palettes, so you'll probably see another look with these two. I'm probably going to combine them again. We'll see what I end up doing tomorrow, but I'm just really excited so far. I'm just having a good time with these. Like I said in my previous look, I was going to do another look with these two palettes, so I'm mostly using this palette today. I'll tell you what the rest of my face is after I've shown you what I've used in this palette. So today I wanted to use mostly like the neutrals and the greens, so I used this one in my crease, as well as underneath my eye just right here, and then I have this one in the outer corner as my deepening shade, and I have this one on my lid. And for underneath my eye right here, I have this shade, and then I have the white sort of satiny shade in the other palette in my inner corner. So the one thing I will say about this, that the more I kind of use it and look at it, the more I realize that there's really only greens and blue shimmers in here, and I feel like it's a little bit like I wish there was just something else. There's a lot that kind of looks similar, I would say. Like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 green shimmers, and then I mean this is a blue obviously, and then a very dark purple, and then this shade which I guess is sort of leaning a little blue grayish. I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more variety in the shimmers, especially in the depth in the shimmers. I feel like it's tough to use kind of more than one of these at a time unless you use this one because this is the lightest one. Obviously this is an iridescent shade, but like this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade are like kind of similar in depth, and I just wish that it was a little bit just better variety and just a little bit more options, because I feel like when using this palette I'm pretty limited to having like a green or a blue lid. And I don't always want that, even with like these colors that are in here. I just wish it was a little different, but I think the formulas are really, really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed every single shade that I used today. I think the deepening shade, the dark brown, such a good, deep, rich brown that can really work to like deepen up a lot of the colors in here, and I think the look turned out beautiful. Like this is not a color combination that I would have done if I did not have this palette in front of me to kind of like guide me there, because I don't think I would have put like that green transition shade together with the deepening shade, or like that lid shade together with these. I don't know, it kind of works, and I like it a lot. I've been having a really good time with this palette so far. One new thing that I'm using today is the blush palette from Besame. This is the Besame palette from ItsBel Cosmetics. That's what I was trying to say. They sent me this one, and they've also come out with some new brushes, which I have in the other room. I can show you those in the next look, but this is not a new palette at all, but I think they sent me this together with the brushes just to, you know, said more than one thing, I guess, hoping I would talk about it. But I think so far this is beautiful. I'm using this shade as my blush today, and I think that already, wait, which one did I say I used? This one? I think already I like this one more than I like the Blend Bunny palette, just because of the shades in here. Like these are just more shades that I tend to gravitate towards. They're not like so, I mean they're bright, but it's hard to explain. I feel like they're just more suitable for like blushes, and I really like the formula so far. It doesn't seem too pigmented, which I really appreciate, even though these shades are obviously very you know, kaboom when you look at them, but they're very user-friendly, and I think I'll be able to use all of these shades. I can't really think of a color that I wouldn't be able to use, so I like that about the palette, and I'm excited to keep using that one as well. The brushes that they sent me, I will say, I don't think that I'll be trying them because I'm so particular, you guys know this, with the eye brushes that I use, and that was an eye brush set, and there was probably only like 2 brushes out of the 10 or whatever that was in the set that I felt like maybe I would get use out of, but I could already tell looking at those brushes that the ones that I liked in that set, I already have brushes that I know I probably like more in my collection already. So I'm probably just going to give away that set, but I'll try to remember to show it to you in the next clip just so that you can see if it is something that you're interested. But I think for me, since I am so picky with my brushes, I don't want to dirty them and then have to wash them just to give them away. So I think that's basically where I stand on that. My lashes today are the baby lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. I was fiddling with my lashes for such a long time today. I even had to like take this one off and reapply it because it just would not stick down the way that I wanted it to, but I think I got a better application now, and I'm glad I did. Like sometimes you can just tell, you put a lash on and like if it's annoying you right away, you just know it's going to be annoying the rest of the day if you don't fix it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fix it. So yeah, I really like these lashes. I think they're beautiful. They're some of my longer lash styles that I wear, and I think they just look really nice. I do have to get like a really good application for them to look good though, so I think I did a good job today. I'm like looking in all my mirrors right now. It's not perfect. I just can't get this little bit to stick like right there. It's just like a tiniest amount, but I think they look good. I don't really have any complaints the way that they look when I'm like looking at you. It's just when I'm really examining everything, it's looking a little wonky, but totally fine. So my lip combo today is the Natasha Denona My Dream Lip Liner, and I'm having the Maracuja Lip Cream from Tarte on my lips. This is the shade called Mulberry. This is a really beautiful formula. I know I've talked about this in the past, but it glides on really nicely, and it's sort of like that balmy consistency. I have a very sheer layer on today, and I also did kind of go over it with my finger. I don't like having a lot of product on my lip, but I really like the color it gives. I like how comfortable it is to wear. If you've been looking at that formula and thinking it's something for you, you would probably like it. It's a really nice formula. I don't know if it's my favorite color. I like it, but it's not like a home run, which is why I have not been wearing it like all the time. It's why it's not living in my bag. I just prefer something a little bit more on like the brownish nude side, or leaning a little bit more pink. There's something with this like in between that I'm just not really sure that I love, but I do think the formula is beautiful. And if I see this in store and they have other colors and I see a color that I think I'm going to like, I might pick one up. So that's basically my thoughts on that. Let's see. My highlighter today is the Noctilucent palette. Duh. I mean, no one's surprised. I'm using this shade on my cheeks and my brow bone, and I think that's it. I also have a little bit of nude in my waterline. This is just the Norvina eyeliner. I mean, I like this one. I like the ColourPop one as well. I just kind of grabbed the one that I saw first, and that was the one that I saw first today. So I think, is that it? I think that's it. So that is going to be it for today's look. So I took the opportunity today to play with some stuff in my collection that I haven't been able to use for a while. My foundation combo today is a little bit different. I'm using the Lisa Eldridge one, which is just way too light for me right now, and I mixed that with the Lancome one. I don't know how it's gonna wear, but I think they're gonna wear okay. I hope so, at least. I'm kind of in the phase now where I don't really have a foundation that matches me, so I'm probably gonna have to just keep mixing the foundations that I have. But thankfully, it seems like the formulas that I do have here kind of work nicely together, so it's not really a huge deal, and it's pretty easy to like get my shade match right. Let's see, I'm using a new blush today, and I bought this from the Sephora sale, which I did talk about, and this is one of the House Labs one. I was a little bit worried when I first got this and I opened it, and I was like, it's looking a little bit light. Like, I don't know how, I'm trying to find my blush brush. I don't know how pigmented this is going to be, but honestly, this is showing up like so nicely. It is such a gorgeous color. I'm so happy I picked up another one of these. I think the formula is just so wonderful. It's so easy to work with. It's pigmented without being too pigmented. It can be built up, and it's just, it blends so nicely. So this is the shade called Pomelo Peach, which is a pretty fitting name because it's a very peachy color and I love it. I think it is beautiful. For my eyeshadows today, I'm using the Natasha Denona My Dream palette because I wanted to just play with this a little bit more, and I'm just using this shade and this shade in my crease as my sort of neutral base for the shimmers that I wanted to use, and I am using some of my Clionadh shimmers. I do have an affiliated code with Clionadh now. I'm pretty sure it's just Annette if you're ever interested in picking up any of the stained glass collection or anything else from their site for that matter. This is my collection. I bought most of these myself. A couple have been sent in PR, but I treasure this so much. I go back to it all the time. I've had some of these shades for I don't know how many years and they still perform so beautifully. So I'm using quite a few shades today. I'm using this shade, which is the shade called, let's see, this is one of the newer ones, I think, Embellishment. This is one of the glitter multi-chromes. So I have that on, that's what's looking like green on my lid. And then on the outer portion here, I have a multi-chrome up here, which is a black base multi-chrome in the shade Forge. And then for my inner corner, my highlighter, my face highlighter, and just right here, I have the shade called Halo, which is one of the iridescent ones. I love this shade so much. I love shades that can be used like on the face that are iridescent, because that way you get like a really cohesive look because you can use it in multiple areas on your face and it all just reflects the light in the same way and it just looks so nice and put together. So I love it. Another thing that I tried today that I've had in my collection for a little bit is another one of the eyeliners from Colourpop, but I haven't used this color before, and this is the color Peach Fuzz, and I love this. Like, I usually use the shade Honeydew, which is like their nude, but I feel like this one is a little bit more, it's not so harsh, if that makes sense. Like, this one looks almost more like a white, and I feel like this one just kind of looks like my waterline, but a little bit brighter without being like so in your face, like, you know what I mean? So I really like this color. I wasn't sure if it was going to look a little too kind of red tone. It's light enough that it just looks really, really nice, and it opens up your eyes in this beautiful kind of fresh manner, and I'm so here for that. I think it is beautiful. My lip combo today is my Natasha Denona Dream lip liner, whatever it's called, and I have the Pillow Talk Bomb Sticky thingy from Charlotte Tilbury on top. It's just one of my kind of go-tos nude combinations when I don't know what to wear. It's maybe a little bit too pink based for this look, but I think it's okay still. I feel like I can pull this color off with like any eyeshadow look that I have on, and I really like it. My pony is the Alley Pony in the shade no, it's not Auburn. What is the shade of this? I forget, but Ginger maybe? I don't know, but I think it's really cute, and I just wanted to kind of go with the look that I was wearing today. And my lashes today are the Bling Fairy lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. So I think that's pretty much gonna be it. I really like this look. I just, sorry not sorry with the neutrals, with the pop of color and special shimmers. Like, there's something about it that just makes me happy and it makes me feel pretty, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. So that's where I'm at. So that's gonna be the very, very quick look today. I forgot to like pinch my lashes together, which it might be a little too late now because my mascara and the lash glue has definitely dried, but we're gonna just give it a little pinch anyway. But I think my lash application today is actually quite good, and I've had some bad lash days lately, so whenever I have a good lash day, I don't ever take it for granted because it doesn't happen all the time. So when it does happen, I'm gonna be in a good mood because it's looking really nice today. So that is going to be it for today's look. Okay, so this is going to be the last look of this video, and today I'm playing with a new palette for the first time, and I am so excited about this palette. This is such a fun summer release, and I feel like I'm gonna have a ton of fun with this. I wish I could play with this more, but probably only gonna have time to do 2 looks for a video. But this is the new palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and it's called the Citrus Punch palette. So look at this color story. Isn't that so adorable? Like, I love it. I think it is such a fun, summery, but also user-friendly palette, and I love the color story. I think it is just adorable, and I had such a good time with this. I used the yellow shade, I used this peach shade, I used 1, 2, 3, I think, of the shimmers. I have this one on the front portion of my lid. You can probably see it's looking quite similar in the pan as it is on the eyes. All of these are duochromes, so they're beautiful. You can see the shift like up close and when you're kind of like applying them and stuff. It's not the most strong shift, but it's subtle enough that if you were to like put one shade on your lid, you would definitely see a bit of a shift to it. I have this shade like on the outer portion of my lid, and then this shade like underneath my eye. And even though they look kind of similar in the pan, I feel like they are different enough that you can see the difference in them. It's maybe a little bit subtle, especially when using sort of all of them in the same eye look like next to each other. But if you had used just like one at a time, you'd see a very clear difference. I'm so excited to use this one. I thought at first that it was just going to be like a yellow shimmer, but then I swatched it on my finger and I was like, wow, that's kind of like green. And it also has like a pink shift to it, so it's super, super unique. The shimmers from Simply Posh are a very interesting formula. They are more on like the sheer thin side. They can be built up to be a little bit more opaque, but they're definitely more like topper-ish, if you want to call them that. I think they look absolutely beautiful. They always wear so nicely on me. Some of them are a little harder pressed, so you need to kind of dig a little bit to get some product on your brush, but I mean, not a big deal at all. Once you do that, you put it on your eyes. It looks amazing, and I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to wear so nicely, because everything that I've tried so far from Simply Posh, I've ended up loving, and they've been the kind of palettes that like I'll see them in my collection and be like, oh, I really want to play with those on days where I have other things that I need to review, or you know what I mean? Like if I'm thinking about my collection and what I want to use on days where I can use whatever, like they are one of the brands that come to the top of my mind right now, because I feel like I'm so impressed with their formulas. Their mattes are wonderful. They're very nice and buildable. They're pigmented without being like too pigmented right away, and they're just so easy to work with. So super impressed with this palette so far. I'm having a great time with this. For the rest of my face, I'm using the Sigma bronzer still. I'm using House Labs blush in the shade Pomelo Peach. I'm sure I mentioned this in this video. Listen, this video has been like 3 weeks in the making. I don't even know. I had a couple of weeks or like 10 days where I didn't do any filming. I wasn't in town, and things just, I don't know where I'm at with this video. This might be the 9th look of this video. I really don't know, but I bought this during the Sephora sale and I really like it. Every time I use one of the blushes from House Labs, it's almost like I look at it in the pan and I'm like, it's not really gonna show up enough for me. I don't know if this is gonna be pigmented enough, but then I put it on and like, it's the perfect amount of pigment. It's so easy to build up. It's just the perfect formula. Honestly, I think these and my Pat McGrath blushes are like my favorite blush formulas of all time. I love them. I will say these are like quite matte though, so if you don't like matte blushes, it might not be for you. They're not the super matte. They have a little bit of a like a silkiness to them, but they're still a matte blush. So if you don't like matte blushes, you're probably not gonna like these. I think they're wonderful. My lip combo today is the ColourPop lip liner in the shade BFF because it was in front of me, and then I have the, I never remember the name of these. These are the ColourPop Glowing Lips, and this is in the shade Adults Only. I just thought it would go really nicely with this look, and I really like this formula as well, and I love the smell of it. It smells just so summery and so good. So I really like this. I think it is so pretty. Like, I feel so pretty in this look. Like, these are the kind of colors that I'm just like, I'm excited that I'm going somewhere today because I feel good. Let's see. My lashes today are the baby lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics yet again, because I feel like once I get on like a lash train and I use a certain style, like I keep using them over and over again until I have a bad lash day, and then I'm like, no, I need to use something else. But right now I'm on the train and I'm having good lash days. So we're just gonna keep rolling with these until I end up having a bad day where I have to reapply my lash like 4 times, and then I'll be over this pair again. But as of right now, loving this look. I think it is beautiful. I am using some freckles today, and these are the Lime Crime freckle pens. I love these. I think they're just so cute and so summery. Like, I feel like as someone who does get like freckles on my arms and stuff, you probably can't see that. Like in the summer, it kind of makes sense for me to kind of, I don't know, put them on my face too, I guess. I'm using the highlighter from the Pat McGrath Holiday palette from 2 years ago. I'm using this one. I think it's really pretty, and I think that's pretty much it. I think that's going to be it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching these as always. Like I said, I'm sorry it's all over the place. I'm sorry it's probably too many looks. I'm not sorry, and I'm sure you appreciate it anyway. So that's going to be it for today. If you want to see some more Makeup Diaries series, I'll put my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.